Embarkation day can feel overwhelming. You've got traffic or flights, you've got your luggage, you've got check-in, and if you have little kids, they're hungry and it is a lot. But if you know what you're doing, it can be stress-free and so much fun. In this video, I'll show you 10 ways to make your embarkation day less stressful so you can go from the chaos to start enjoying your vacation right away. And hey, if you find this helpful and want more tips and Disney Cruise Line planning guides, make sure to hit the subscribe button so that you're ready for your next adventure. Now let's jump right in. Number one, first tip, you need to arrive a day early. I know this should probably go without saying, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter where you're from or what you do or how you get there, whether it's driving or flying or a train or whatever. Things happen. Things happen, and you don't want things to happen on the day of your vacation because that cruise is not waiting for you. I know, I know. It doesn't wait for you though. None of us are that important. So you need to get there a day early because if you don't, it could be very stressful. So this is how you save some stress. You arrive a day early. Number two, if you want the least amount of stress, you're going to get Disney transfers. And I know they're more expensive, but that's not the point. The point of the Disney transfer is not to save you money, it is to save you stress. And how does it save you stress? Well, they take you from wherever you are staying, or if you're flying in, they pick you up at the airport and they take you to the cruise port. And when they take you to the cruise port, you give them your luggage, and then that luggage from the bus makes it all the way to your room without you having to do anything. So there's some stress taken out of it. And if you're staying in Orlando at the Hyatt in the Orlando airport, you get to check in for your cruise at the hotel inside the airport. I'm not sure if this is happening anywhere else, but this is a huge perk and benefit because that means when you get to the port, you already have your Magic Band hooked up, you're ready to go. All you have to do is go through security. You're not having to get your passport out or anything. It is already taken care of. It is incredible. Number three, you need to have a plan to have the least amount of stress. You need to have some kind of idea of what you want to do on embarkation day when you get on board the ship. And I am not talking about like a 35 point, bullet list of everything you want to do, like, seeing different characters and, you got to have lunch at this time and do this at this time. No, 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 no. It does not need to be like that. You just need to have some ideas so that you can pack accordingly. So, like, if you want to go swimming on day one, you need to have a swimsuit in your day bag. So, that kind of thing. Also, if you have kids, you might need to just be prepared to be able to go to the nursery or the kids club to get them registered. Because then, if you get them registered on day one, you don't have to register them when you're trying to go to adult dinner. It is already done for you. So, you probably should get your registration done for your kids on embarkation day. That's just something you should have a plan for ahead of time because they do shut down before the muster drill. So there are only certain times that you can do that. Other things you need to be planning for, like if you have some dining changes that you want to make, or if you have food allergies, those kinds of things that you need to make sure that people are aware of. For us, for our family, we have a child with a disability, so we want to make sure that we talk to the management at the kids club to make sure they're comfortable with that situation. So you just need to have a plan. Nothing like super crazy, but you should have a plan for embarkation day. Number four, to make things less stressful, you need to pack your day bag accordingly. Now let me show you mine. Okay, this is an example of my day bag. This is typically what I bring on a cruise, but usually there's some other things in it pertaining to children. But if I was just going as an adult, this is kind of my day bag. Inside my day bag, I have a water bottle because sometimes if things get held up at the port, you just never know. And I like to have my water with me. You need your passport for check-in. Hold on. Passport for check-in. You need to have cash in your day bag because porters, they don't take anything else. And so you need to have cash ready. And you do not want to have big bills like 20s or 50s or hundreds or whatever because you're probably not going to be wanting to tip anybody that kind of money. So you want to have small bills like ones or a 5 or a 10 on hand for the porter. Other things you might want a portable charger because everything is happening on the app. You probably want a charger in case that, you need it. You're definitely going to need your phone. I have to bring medication with me. So if you also need medication, this is things like I have an inhaler, EpiPens. You will want to make sure that there's prescription, detailed information about the prescription and the original container so that that is not an issue. Other things you're going to want to bring if you are driving, you need to have a credit card. This is not a credit card, this is a Disney gift card. I'm not going to show you my credit card, but you need to have a credit card because when you are getting parking in the port, you need to be able to do that pretty easily. And I don't believe they take cash that I'm aware of. They might have someone that can take cash, but typically they don't take cash. Other things that need to be in your day bag, your magic band, or that should already be on you, sunglasses, because sometimes it's pretty bright. And then I also pack hand sanitizer because you never know what you're going to be touching. And those are the kinds of things that I have in my day bag. Now, if you have tiny children like I do, you need to pack some more things in your day bag. Diapers, wipes, extra clothes, little kid cups, possibly little kid utensils, snacks. I mean, you just need a lot because when things don't go right on travel day, you need to have things ready for them so that they're preoccupied. So if there's a delay in the port and your port arrival time was 10:30 and you're not actually going to get onto the ship till 12:30, you need to have snacks ready for your littles because they will probably get hangry. How do I know? It has happened before, and never again will I not pack snacks for embarkation day because, yes, but you definitely want pre-packaged, unopened snacks. Moving on from the day bag, we need to talk about if you're driving. And if you're driving to the port, there are two things you need to do to make your embarkation day less stressful. Number one is you should drive in a little bit early and get gas so that when you leave the port, you're not having to get gas immediately. I know that's kind of like a debarkation, stress-free situation, but I think this is really critical on embarkation day so that your entire trip is a little bit less stress-free. Also, when you park your car in port, this is kind of a bonus tip. Make sure your kids turn off the lights. Yeah, make sure kids turn off the lights. And I guess on that note, just make sure you have a battery, a portable battery, just in case they forget to turn off the lights and your car battery dies. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, number 6, we kind of already talked about it, but make sure you have cash on hand for tipping. And this doesn't matter if you are taking Disney transfers or you're driving to the port or taking other transportation to the port. You need to have cash on hand for the people that are taking your luggage. At some point, someone is going to take your luggage, or if you're on a bus, you're going to just need to tip them a few dollars, but just have some cash on hand for that. Number 7, make your embarkation day easier by having your magic bands charged and bringing magic bands. And this is especially important for first-time cruisers if you are parks people. So if you already have a magic band, it should work on the cruise ship. The really, really old ones may not work, but the newer ones, any kind of newer Magic Band 2.0, whatever they're called, they will work on the ship. And this will alleviate so many pain points because the little cards, let me show you, these little card things that you get that are your room keys, Disney's not going to give you a lanyard for that if it's your first cruise. And if you don't have a lanyard and you don't want to walk around with like a wallet all the time, it can be really annoying, especially if you just don't have pockets in general. I find that many of my dresses and skirts don't have pockets, and so I prefer to just have a magic band because I don't really like lanyards. So the magic band will be your key to your room. It will allow you to pay for stuff. It does everything, and it doesn't have to come off. Versus a lanyard or carrying this around can just be quite annoying. Number 8, to make your cruise less stressful, you need to get the app on your phone before you get to the port. But also, when you do get to the port, you need to connect to the ship's Wi Fi and kind of just like get a lay of the land, make sure that it works, check out anything that you might want to add to your booking. And then at some point on embarkation day, put your phone in airplane mode because you don't want to deal with that bill. Just something to know to make your cruise a lot less stressful. Number 9, if you can, at all costs, avoid guest services. This will make your cruise way less stressful. Guest services is typically packed on embarkation day, and so if you can avoid it, it's probably a good thing. Now, you may be thinking, but Sarah, I'm bringing cash with me and that's how I'm paying for my cruise. Well, what you should do is before your cruise, you should go to Sam's Club or Costco or even Target, anywhere you want, and get a Disney gift card. And then what you're going to do is you're going to take this Disney gift card and you're going to go online and you are going to add that Disney gift card as an onboard credit, as like an onboard gift to your account so that it is just on your account waiting for you when you get on the ship. So, if you can, at all costs, avoid guest services. And finally, number 10, if you are boarding a little bit later, you may want to avoid sit down lunch. And if you have food allergies, you may want to have sit down lunch so you can pre order your dinner. So, the sit down lunch is pretty complicated, and let's get into the little bit of details as to why. So, as people board the ship, if you have an early boarding time, you have first dibs. It's not very crowded, so you get first choice about what you want to do for lunch. But as more and more people board the ship, things get more crowded. And so lunch gets more crowded. And so then you have a longer waiting time to sit down and have lunch. And then they're already backed up in the kitchen because they're preparing lunch for all these people. And so you are going to have to wait a lot longer for sit down lunch if you are boarding later. Now, on the other hand, if you have food allergies, it is a great time to pre order dinner and deal with your food allergies before you have to deal with them at dinner time with your team, if you do this at lunch. So at sit down lunch, you can kind of have the conversation. If you've got nowhere else to be, you don't have other children with you or whatever, this would be a great time to say like, hey, I've got a food allergy. I would like to pre-order my dinner so that you're not doing that whole thing at dinner time tonight. So, and bonus, the thing you need to know about Embarkation Day is it's kind of low key until things start ramping up with the muster drill. That typically happens around 3:30, or they shut everything down at 3:30, and then the sail away party happens pretty much right after that around 4:15, and then dinner's happening at like 5:45. And so like things just start moving along once that muster drill happens. So, just something to know that if you are kind of planning or thinking about what you want embarkation day to look like, remember the time 3:30 and just know that like depending on what time you're getting there, you kind of want to do whatever you need to do by about 3 o'clock because a lot of things shut down in preparation for that muster drill. So if you need to register a child for the kids club or for the nursery, a lot of times they kind of shut that all down around 3 o'clock for all the staff and crew members to prepare for the muster drill. So just like something to know that like things just kind of start picking up. And there's kind of like a rhythm and an order to things starting around 3 p.m. on embarkation day that kind of lasts until like dinner time. And so things kind of get a little bit chaotic. So if you need certain things to happen on that day when you board, you kind of want to get it done before 3 o'clock. So that is it. I hope this was really, really helpful. If you like this video, if you want more information like this, next time we're going to be getting into all things budgeting for Disney Cruise and hidden costs. So if that's interesting to you, please stick around, subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye, y'all.